Welcome to my podcast. Today I'm going to talk about another case situation for the entry interview for School of Medicine. So there were like two teams asking about bullying. So it says like you witness, you are and your friend applying for medicine, but you have witnessed this person bullying someone, and that he wrote unacceptable comment on the social media with the functionality of disappearing messages. On the other one, presumably you are still working now, and you witness some sort of bullying, how this which is of course can take different forms and shapes, and it could affect the environment because it's offensive, intimidating, malicious, insulting, and like abuse the power or misuse it in different forms, which can undermine, humiliate, and degrade or injure the recipient. So the question was, considering profession standard which demanding of a doctor, you need to describe two actions that you could do and justify them. And the other one, you are working in a clinical team, and you need to discuss what's the potential impact of bullying in the workplace, and you need to give some justification. So some they grasp the idea quite quick and answered straight away, and some they struggled and they needed some prompts and clarification. So, in that regard, for the first question, you need to ask this friend why he's doing this. What's the reasoning? Maybe they have issue in the background, or maybe they have something hard happening in their life. And you need to ask also the friend or the other party, ask how they're feeling, how this makes them feel, because it might affect their self-worth, may cause them self-conscious about their self, might belittle them. So you need to see how it's impacting them and where it comes from. And maybe even he will start to think about himself like is not worth it and belittling themselves, and might go into suicidal ideation, or might commit suicide, like in many situations we read about. And also offer a support to the person, ask them if they need any help in any sort, maybe you can guide them for mental support group. And if the person who's he's insulting or sending those nasty comments, you need to ask them to remove them, and maybe they meet up, and you need to apologize for that, because this is not aligning with the GMC guideline or with the good medical practice. Of course, you can't take one side, or maybe turn a blind eye on this, because this is like you're not acting in a proactive way. And some people, they advise that they're gonna take a snap before it disappear and take it like an evidence. And it's not nice, of course, to ignore the whole situation as well, because it might not help the other party. So you need to check and offer extra help, because that this can affect everyone differently, and put down the person, and maybe you will not be able to perform as he should be, because it can be kind of aggressive and violent way towards certain person. And you need to reach out for this friend, even if you don't know them in person. Ask how they're feeling, if they need any help, any support, because everything needs to be treated with respect, and this will affect, of course, their career in the future, that he will be a bullier and he will have bad reputation and erosion with the patient and the future and the environment where they might be working, because it's going to be like ethical breach, and it's not nice at all as a start for your medical career ahead. For the second question, it needs because if you are working in an environment where it's full of bullier and it's very toxic, obviously this will affect the staff, whereby they might say, oh, I'm not going to come or I'm not going to go for this work environment, or maybe it's going to affect their well-being or their performance. So they might take sick leave, or maybe and this sick leave will lead to shortage of the staff and overload on the rest, who will be feeling burned out, and the institute already is stretched and understaffed. Also gonna cause a breakdown in the team dynamic and abuse of the people who's in power on superior position, which will cause demeaning and belittling of the other party or the junior one. Of course, will lead to avoidance between the team, and will reduce the communication between the potential team due to poor standard of patient care. Also, if the patient witness this kind of behavior, they will not disclose their issue and might avoid. And I'm going to say, if this happened between obviously highly educated people, so what about us? So there will be like a lack of approach, and even for the team themselves. And also, of course, as I say, people will start to think about leaving this place because the environment is quite toxic, it's not encouraging, so do not feel that they're going to flourish or move ahead in their career. This will just feed into anxiety and fear. So they're going to feed in fear, which is not healthy environment. And of course, this will lead to reputational damage and erosion to the professional team. And because if you are working in an environment where you feel there is like aggression, people will start to avoid, don't want to communicate, because some people abuse their power or their position. And of course, people won't improve in their career, won't learn, won't advance in their career. And the patient welfare, which is the most important thing here to consider it as a priority, will be, of course, jeopardized. So the patient might not want to go to that place if they had like a public leak of this kind of information, like sometimes we read about it or hear it in the local news. And this will raise a lot of concern, of course, and the group won't work together, and because we know in medicine it's a multidisciplinary work team, and you need sometimes to collaborate with other parties. On that condition, all of that is going to be affected, because some of them are not working for the best interest of the patient, and some don't won't be able to cope with this task and under pressure or under toxic communication environment. So the moral integrity and the moral situation, all of that is going to be affected, and everyone is going to feel like discomfort or uncomfortability in that place. And some of them might think it's a normal thing to be expected in this kind of place. So with all of that, jeopardize patient safety, as I say, and it will impact colleague and student and the whole team or the healthcare system performance and decision to raise for the patient best of interest. And of course, whoever doing so will have this reputation carried out wherever they go. They're going to say, oh, I don't want to be with that kind of person. So it's going to affect immensely and widely whether the person or the whole surrounding. And the hospital itself is going to have bad reputation for that kind of thing. And the staff, as I say, they might feel the mental burnout, and might even go into too much distress, and might even think about suicide. Like many times we read about some doctors, they do so. So it's very important to address those problems early on and find support and not just keep up with that kind of thing, because it's a kind of ethical breach, as I say, and any teamwork working together, they should ask for the best of the best interest of patient without any friction or disrespect. And because when there's like this bullying, which we're going to create power imbalance, and of course this have bad it will be bad in the in the public perception vision, and it will alarm and alert about that kind of service, and patient won't trust that place anymore, and the bond between people will be breakdown, and everyone will be self-conscious, thinking about their self-worth, and maybe doubting their suitability, and this will affect the continuity of the care of the patient. So yeah, all of that should be considered and should be always should be followed with the guideline of obviously the trust locally and the GMC, that no one should abuse or misuse their power or call people names or make certain attitude. Well, I hope I covered all the aspects in this kind of session. Drop me down below in the comment if you have anything that you would like to share, and I should come back to you. And I hope that I cover everything. Thank you.